So yesterday I did a Q&A on my story and I got a few questions in, so I'm going to answer them now. So first question was a good one, was it how much does it actually cost to open a gym like LRF in Herne Bay? So I've just put some rough costs down. I've done a few stories on this before, but I'll run you through a few costs. So flooring, I'm sure Jack can add these up here as well. Flooring, 35k, that's the floor, the whole gym. So the wooden floor in reception, the lino floor on the ground floor, the lino floor of the mezz floor as well, to get nice flooring in the changing rooms as well. Total flooring cost for the gym was 35 grand. To build the mezz was 35 grand, so that's already 70. To put the deposit on the hammer strength equipment, the cardio, and all the weight plates in the gym was 50k. And what I did is I got a lease hire agreement, so I just paid it off every month, like a PCP on a car almost. So I paid it off every single month, but I had to put 50k down to actually get the equipment here. Prime and Atlantis don't do that PCP hire, you have to pay for their stuff up front. Prime was 35 grand, that's including transport and taxes. Atlantis was 30 grand, including transport and taxes. A rent deposit scheme on a commercial building is different to a house. So for example, if you are getting a house, you'll just pay 1 month up front and 1 month rent normally. It might cost you like, if you've got a £1,000 house, it might cost you 1,500 quid. It's different with commercial buildings. They want 3 months up front and 3 months rent. So you give a 3-month deposit and you give 3-month rent. And our rent here alone is 60k a year. So that's 30k, that's without that as well. And then you have to pay service charge and so on and so forth, so they keep the area tidy, they'll paint the lines in the car park, pick up the weeds, all that shit. So that's 40k there as well, and that's for us literally just to get the keys into the building. Building works and remedial works, so building the reception desk, building the changing room, building this office for example, building the physio room next door, that's another 20k. Putting the entry part in, that wooden entry part as well, that's another 20k. The building obviously needed painting as well because it was just brickwork. You don't have to necessarily have it painted, but if you're going to open a gym and spend a lot of money, you might as well get it painted as well. So for example, painting these walls behind you white, painting all the gym floor black, painting all the corridors and so on and so forth. That was another 8k. Because it's a lot of paint and a lot of labour. Like the floor space is fucking massive. So imagine the wall space, because obviously you've got floor space and then you've got walls going up as well. So painting alone was 8 grand. You have to pay rents as soon as you start occupying the building. They don't give you a recession on rates. Our rates here alone are 1.5k a month. We are lucky in the fact that we are a gym, so there was a bit of a gym recession in rates, but we still had to pay rates. So you're paying 1.5k a month as soon as we came in. Promo work, obviously you need to make people aware that the gym is opening. That cost me about 1.5k. And supplements before we opened, to get not just supplements but water, blenders, microwave and stuff like that. That cost me £1,000 as well to get all that in. So we've got protein for people, pre-workouts for people, EAAs for people, water for people, fridges and so on and so forth. So just totaling that up, okay, and again, I don't own all the equipment just yet. I've still got probably 70, 80k on a PCP. So I didn't buy all the equipment outright. I bought the Prime Atlantis outright, but the hammer, the plates and the cardio, they're not all outright. And that is a total, okay, of £157,000. Sorry, wrong, £257,000. So you might have 157 and thought, fucking hell, that's a lot. Well, it's actually £257,000. So the price of probably the house you live in, that's how much it costs just to open this gym. The ongoing costs as well that people don't realise is my rent, including the VAT, is around about 6k a month. The rate, including the VAT, is around about 3k a month. Staff is 4k. Bills are around about 2k, and the equipment lease is around about 4k as well. So my ongoing cost to keep this gym open is 19k, so that's 20 grand a month just to keep this gym going. The gym doesn't earn anywhere near that at the moment, so I'm taking money out of my own pocket and I'm funding the gym. That's why I always say to people, if for example you're solely worried about making profit and making money, don't open a gym, because it eats into a lot of your money for a long period of time, and then of course it starts making profit. But for the time being, you're going to have a lot of financial backing, because for at least the first 6 months, you're going to be supplementing that revenue all the time, because your gym's not going to make that much money in the first 6 months. For example, here we've been open 2 months, we've almost got 200 direct debit members. So let's work that out in terms of financial. 200 direct debit members at £40 each is going to bring us in 8 grand a month. But I need to make 19 for us to cover our overheads. So you can see I'm already supplementing 11 grand a month back into the gym to help it keep turning over. And that will probably happen for at least the first year. So for the first year, the gym will probably make a loss of close to £500,000. And you might say, well, why £500,000? Well, because I need to put all the costs out to start with. For example, that 257k, I don't get any of that back. I'll put that money out there, so that's lost already. And yes, of course, I've got assets, but that's lost already. And then the gym is losing, again, probably around about 10 grand a month to start with. 10 grand times 12 is 120k. So now, as you can see, it's closer to 400k, but if I round up and say £500,000, just in case your gym doesn't do as well in that first year. So you're going to have to budget around about £500,000 if you want to open a gym like this, and open a big gym, because that's what it's going to cost you really, is about £500,000. So people who look at this and say, oh man, you're so lucky to have a gym like that. Like, yeah, like part of me is lucky to be able to work my fucking ass off, financially be in a stable position to do that, have people around me who are willing to work for lower cost. Like for example, Simon does close to 80 hours a week, and I give him 275 quid, because that's all we can afford, is £275 a week at the minute. So he does all those hours, and he's definitely being paid less than minimum wage, like significantly less than minimum wage. But he knows obviously the long-term goal of the gym. He'll soon, maybe in late 2022, probably be only working 20 hours a week, and I'll be paying him the same. So he'll be earning significantly more than what he is now, plus his PT, and plus you can see the vision of the business as well. So yeah, those are the costs of opening a gym, those are the ongoing costs of running a gym, and those are the budgets that you have to have if you really want to open a big gym like LRF or like Ultraflex or like Ripped. You have to have those types of budgets, like you have to, otherwise it will not succeed. And I would never recommend opening a smaller type of gym, because otherwise LRF, Ultraflex, Ripped, Absolute will probably come and open in your area and then just take all your members. Not because that's what they're trying to do, that's just business. And if somebody's offering a better product, of course clients and customers will go over to that better product. So yeah, that's in essence how much it takes for you to open a gym. Those, as I said, really are just the fundamental sort of, I'm just going back here to my costings, those are really just the fundamentals. And it doesn't equate for things breaking, buying new machines. What happens if a staff member's off sick and you've got to get somebody else in for a temp? What happens if there's an electrical issue, a plumbing issue, and so on and so forth? Like, these are all, to be honest, I've not even put electrics here into this initial cost. So this initial cost will probably go up by another 3k, so that will make it 260, because I had to put electrics into the gym as well. Like, I have to put electrics behind reception. These plug sockets here that are either side of me, they had to be put in as well. We had to have security put in as well. Again, like, I'm adding to these costs here now. We had to have security systems put in, alarm systems, fire extinguishers. That again is another 4 or 5 grand as well. So that now is looking at more like 265k to open the gym, just to get it open. So that's your initial outlay before you have one member through the door, one protein shake sold. You have to budget 260 at least. As I said, for the first year, you probably want to be budgeting more like £500,000. So that's the cost of running something like LRF and opening up something like LRF.